On May 12, 2012, a jubilee year for Kimep University, a big group of its students went to the next 9th trip to Astana city for governmental internship in the country's governmental structures. Traditionally, this trip was followed by a tough competition held by the students, panel commission and a cycle of 4-month preparation lectures approved by a scientific council of the social sciences faculty. The main contents of the preparation lectures were deepening of the students' knowledge in such areas as lawmaking processes, governmental management and governmental service, coordinated interaction of legislative, executive and judicial powers mechanism, and current social and economic reforms and democratic transformations analysis. In 2004, at the very beginning of the academic internship, only 15 students participated in it, and only in Majilis of Parliament. In 2012, there were 60 students of Kimep University. This time it was held not only in Majilis, but also in the Senat of Parliament, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Economic Development and Trade. The opening ceremony of the internship took place in the Majilis of Parliament. Students were welcomed by Vice Chairman of Apparatus of Majilis Aliya Kadyrbekova, Vice Chairman of Apparatus of Senate Abay Toksaba, and Deputy of Majilis of Parliament Anatoly Pepenin. Representatives of Ministry of Economic Development and Trade had also taken part in the ceremony. Mr. Kripak, the head of the internship, informed those present about preparation process for the internship and presented a new group of students. In addition, a video report about previous year's practice and its results in the Parliament and Ministry of Economic Development and Trade was demonstrated to the public. After the opening ceremony, we were guided to a brief excursion through the buildings of Parliament. We attended Informational Analytical Center of the Parliament's library, then visited Majilis and Senate Joint Meetings Hall. After that, all the students went to their places of work, to the structural divisions of Majilis, Senate, Ministry of Economic Affairs and Ministry of Economic Development and Trade, where the students were met by the state officials who were nominated as supervisors to every student for the whole period of practice. Students faced an interesting 1-month period of work, after which they had to pass a complicated exam, and after coming back to the university, a final report. Within the frameworks of the academic internship, a complex of lectures and meetings was held in other central governmental branches of the Republic of Kazakhstan and institutions of Astana city. We have got a lot of important and interesting information during meetings in the Constitutional Council and Supreme Court. A lecture in the Scientific and Research Project Institution of the General Plan of Astana city, held by one of the leading architects in the Republic of Kazakhstan, Professor Amanjol Shaymirdenovich Chikanaev, was devoted to a new city construction doctrine. After the lecture we understood much more about the scales of tasks fulfilled on the construction of the capital, ambitions of plans and decisiveness of the head of our republic, Nursultan Nazarbayev. Nazarbayev University impressed us with grandiose of conception and practical steps towards its implementation. The visit has increased our pride of our country. With a high interest we participated in the presentation of work of the Youth Parliament, recently created in Nazarbayev University. The Parliament is a structural division of the Republic Social Association, created under the Kimep University Students' Initiative. Together with students of Nazarbayev University, we held a discussion on youth politics issues. In the Jas Ulan Public School, the Defense Ministry's educational institution, where children of warriors internationalists from single-parent and poor families, as well as orphans, take their studies, we have seen the real care of the state of the children and increasing breadth of Kazakhstani patriotism in the children. The school's command demonstrated us powerful material base, perfect living conditions of the pupils, and invited us to a solemn line, a ceremony of current school year's closing. Weekends were used productively as well. The time was filled by educational tour to the First President's Museum, Memorial Complex Atamiken Kazakhstani Map, Palace of Peace and Reconciliation, the Republic Palace, and Astana Bayterek Complex. It is hard to express through words to deliver to full extent impressions from visit of the Algiers, a Khmolian camp of wives of the so-called Motherland Traitors Memorial Museum Complex. On the place representing tragic history of Stalin's political repressions, our country has established Memorial Museum, immortalized memory of those suffered from barbarian repressions of the not so long ago past. The visits were some kinds of thematic lectures, helping students to consolidate lectures of internship, to widen view horizons and targeted on extraction of as much useful knowledge and experience as possible. In addition to those visits, meetings were held with the representatives of the US Embassy and with Mrs. Sultanov Konush Sultanovich and Kapil Yegor Yakovlevich, deputies of the Parliament. In the US Embassy, students have learned about educational programs of the US and about its activities targeted to the development of the youth politics in Kazakhstan, and also had chance to ask their questions about the themes reason as well as about the US politics. Konush Sultanovich told students about his own life experience and his opinion about what the fair society and modern youth should be like nowadays. The meeting with him was pretty inspiring, as Konush Sultanovich was an ambassador to the People's Republic of China. After his interesting speech, Ibray Dautov, the head of the Youth Parliament, spoke about the Parliament's activities and presented a brief report about Parliament's implemented and current projects. Such an activity of students wondered Mr. Sultanov. He highly appreciated the Parliament's work. Kapil Yegor Yakovlevich's speech was enthusiastic and interesting as well. It was more formal and looked more like a report about the deputy's work in the sphere of youth politics. Mr. Kapil told us briefly about his biography, the main achievements in his life, and presented his own view of the future of Kazakhstan and its culture. He pointed out the importance of being aware of the state's history and Kazakh language for the future development of this country. After his speech, he kindly answered the questions of students. The period of the practice overlapped with the 4th Congress of Leaders of World and Traditional Religions in Astana. Our students were given a great honor to work in the Congress as volunteers. Together with governmental officials, students of Kimep University were accompanying honored foreign delegations at the airport, accommodating them in hotels, standing on duty in the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation, where the Congress was held, as well as accompanying the honored guests in the meetings with the government officials, working as interpreters in negotiation processes. During the work we kept in mind that we were representatives of the Republic of Kazakhstan and one of its best universities. All the students who worked as volunteers in the Congress were rewarded by the letters of gratitude from the head of the Senate of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Kairat Mami, at a solemn closing ceremony. The official letter of gratitude was also presented to Dr. Chang Yongbang, the president of the Kimep University. Every time our students bring initiatives with them to discuss in the Parliament with the deputies and other government officials urgent problems. The initiatives are always kindly supported by the government officials. One of such initiatives was that of Kasiet Omarova, a student with full lack of vision, Gaukhar Amantaeva, Gaukhar Dusimbaeva and Rano Iliyeva, supported by the Committee of Social Cultural Development of Majilis of Parliament. The committee's head is Dariga Nazarbayeva. That time it was a round table on the problems of disabled people. It is important to mention that during the discussion some 12 deputies were present. 6 of them spoke in the debates. The basic presentations were made by the mentioned students, representatives of the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection, Ministry of Healthcare, Ministry of Education and Science, Ministry of Culture and Information, Committee of Tourism Industry, Ministry of Industry and New Technologies, Construction and Municipal Economy Agency, Japanese Charity Fund and Disabled People's Unions have also taken part in the round table. All the participants highly appreciated this initiative, expressed a lot of positive words towards the Kimep University, marked importance of the problem risen, and expressed their will to support such kinds of initiatives. The visit of Dr. Gholam Mustafa, acting Vice President for Academic Affairs of the Kimep University, was another remarkable surprise for students. Appearance of the official representative from Kimep was a very important event. He invited students to a meeting in the hotel's conference hall, where he told about coming positive changes in the university and answered the students' questions. The closing ceremony took place in solemn conditions in the hall of Senate sessions. The government officials of the Houses of the Parliament apparatus and administration also participated in the ceremony. It is interesting fact that the closing ceremony of the governmental internship has been holding with students, parents and close relatives. This time the ceremony was attended by some 52 representatives of the Parents' Corps who have come from different parts of the country. They could not hide their wonder from the ceremony and expressed words of deep parental gratitude to those who has made this nice project possible. Vice Chairman of Senate Abay Totsava and Vice Chairman of Majilis Aliya Kadirbekova have praised in their speeches a high level of the organization of the internship by Kimep, responsibility of students, high level of activity and executive discipline. Ability of students to work in a team and readiness to adapt quickly to changing conditions was also highly appraised. Students as their parents were also expressing their satisfaction by the results of the internship. They spoke about the open and benevolent atmosphere in which the main work activities were made during the internship. They have also expressed their gratitude to the President, Nursultan Abishevich Nazarbayev, for his titanic efforts targeted on creation of conditions for preparing highly qualified specialists corresponding to modern time. Words of gratitude were also expressed towards the heads, deputies and apparatus of Majilis of Senat of Parliament, state officials and heads of the Ministry of Economic Development and Trade, Ministry of International Affairs, in other words, all those organizations which accepted our students with big hospitality in the frameworks of the internship lectures. Kasiet Omarova, a student of Kimep University with full lack of vision, to the accompaniment of loud applauses, presented to the Parliament's officials a picture written by her on the expanses of the steppe of motherland Kazakhstan as a sign of her gratitude. On behalf of the President of Kimep, Dr. Chang Yongbang, Kimep staff and the whole student staff, the warm words of gratitude were expressed by Dr. Golam Mustafa, acting Vice President of Kimep for Academic Affairs. The words were addressed to the parliaments and ministries which allow our students to work there as interns for so many years, attention and support to the university's project. The closing spot of the students' delegation stay in the high cabinets of the government, granting of certificates for successful passing of the internship and gratitude letters for responsible accomplishment of the very important objective of the government, volunteer work in the 4th Congress of World and Traditional Religions. 4 weeks of saturated and wonderful internship time in the governmental bodies have passed imperceptibly. Almost 1 month of adaptation in high cabinets of the government. Some of the current interns will return back here to enrich the government with their deep involvement to the works and tasks given, thus entering the wide fields of the public management.
I had an internship at the Ministry of Economic Development and Trade at the Department of Management Policy of State Obligations and Financial Sector Development. Main objectives of this department are control and manage state obligations and payment on those obligations, and also accepting different measures on improving and developing financial industry. During my internship, I have known those objectives in practice. For example, I have read and analyzed the annual report of National Bank of Kazakhstan. Also, I have made my own recommendations about the project on regional financial center, and also I have prepared the long-term plan on payment of state obligations of Kazakhstan using different visuals such as tables, graphs, and I hope this part of my work would be helpful for the future of my department. I would like to thank Kimep University and its administration, our internship supervisor Petr Ivановich Kripak, and of course our supervisors at the ministries and parliament for their kind support and wise advice.
I had a great chance to work at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Department of Multilateral Cooperation. as an intro. It's one of the busiest departments which conducts negotiations with governmental and non-governmental international organizations and helps to strengthen the position of Kazakhstan all over the world. I can't tell all the details of my work, but I can definitely say that the experience that I received made my desire to become a statesman and work at MFA much stronger. Thank you.
I was in the Committee on Finance and Budget in the Majilis of the Parliament of Kazakhstan, and when we spoke on the state budget, I was fortunate enough to learn everything from all sides. There were such issues raised, such as concerning budgets, such as budget on the security, on the education, on health, on housing programs, and etc. I took part in the organizational activities. I participated in workshops, in the meetings, in the extended meetings, in sessions, and to tell the truth, I was deeply impressed. This experience, this trip will be a big step in raising political culture of youth and in raising the awareness of the youth. This way, the legal mechanism will gradually disappear in our country. Now, I can say that almost everyone can see the different things from the different angles. Thank you very much.
I am Mr. John and I am a student of Kimep University. I had an academic internship in the Senat of Parliament of Republic of Kazakhstan, particularly in the Department of Organizational Control and Personal Work. During internship, we attended the meetings of Parliament and consolidated and deepened the knowledge of legislative processes. We have been aware of all social economic transformations that held in the Kazakhstan, and also we see the branches of governmental mechanisms. At the time of Fourth Congress of World and Traditional Religions, I was transferred to the protocol of Senate, where in my duties included the preparation of a working list of guests who participated in the Fourth Congress, also translations information materials in English and Kazakh, and correspondence with the Kazakh embassies in the different countries. Very often I accompany the head of the protocol of the Senate in 22 bilateral meetings of the chairman of Senate, with foreign guests such as Prime Minister of Turkey, Recep Erdogan, the General Secretaries of UNESCO, Turkpa, the UN, and PACI. Then I accompanied the members of the Secretaries of Religious Organizations and ambassadors of Western Europe, serving as a translator. From my point of view, I consider that the practice was very intense, and I'm very grateful to Senate for giving such opportunity.
Our whole team lived in excellent hotel condition and was provided with free meals and transportation. Every morning, comfortable bus transferred students to places of internship and in the evening fetched back to the hotel. On behalf of our large group, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Chang Yang Beng, President of our university, and Vice President of Administration and Finance, Bettina Sohil Espe, for such care. We talked about it admiringly to governmental representatives, and with a pleasant surprise this message was perceived by public servants.
The next Jubilee 10th internship will take place in May-June 2013. Preparation for that important event has already started. A competition is announced. Students' Competition Commission has started its work. The main task for the Commission to form a new group of students who will, as during the last 10 years, significantly present Kimep University, which is, according to the Republic's President's quotation, is a visit card of professional education of Kazakhstan.